In this chapter, we are looking at sums of series, and we're going to start in this video with sums of natural numbers. So what does that mean? It basically means adding up numbers like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and so on. So obviously it's not going to be always as simple as that, but let's start with that. Now, this series 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, etc., up to, let's say, some value n. Now, that is just a straightforward arithmetic progression and can be evaluated using what you learned in A-level maths about arithmetic progressions and arithmetic series. Now, it's such an important one that in further maths, we're just going to remember the rule for this, but let's derive it, and we'll derive it in two ways. Let's first derive the result using just standard arithmetic series rules. So that would be to say, look, we have a first value of 1, a starting value of 1. We have a common difference of 1. And of course, we have n equals n, because there are n numbers in that series. And we can say the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic sequence is n over 2. And then it's 2a, which is 2, plus n minus 1 times 1. And we can just neaten this up a bit, n over 2, and it's 2 plus n minus 1, so that's just n plus 1. And there it is. Now, it's also quite nice to derive it without actually using that rule, and a nice way to do that would be to say the sum of the first n terms is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus etc. all the way up to, well, up to n minus 2 and then n minus 1 and then n. And if we write this series backwards, it shouldn't change the answer. So n plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 and all the way down to 3 plus 2 plus 1. Now if we add these two series to each other term by term, well, we get two lots of the series, 2 times Sn. And what do we get here? We get n plus 1. N minus 1 plus 2 is n plus 1. N minus 2 plus 3 is n plus 1. And of course, it's going to be n plus 1 all the way down, because each time you're increasing one of them by 1 and decreasing the other by 1. So the question is, how many n plus 1s do we have? Well, n, of course, because there were n terms in the series. So that's n lots of n plus 1. But of course, that was two lots of the series. So one lot of the series is just half of this, half of n times n plus 1. And you get the same result. So that's our result, half n plus 1. Now's a good time to start thinking about the sigma notation we're going to use. We say that the sum of r just being a number, starting from 1 up to n is half n plus 1. So this just gives you an nth term, basically. It's just r, a starting value, 1, and a finishing value. So that's just 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 up to n, and here's the rule. So for instance, we can start evaluating some of these. The sum from 1 to 20, all we need to do is sub 20 into this formula. So half times 20 multiplied by 20 plus 1. Work that out in your head or just smash it into the calculator, and it's 210. Okay, so what about ones like this? They're called partial sums. Sum from r equals 10 to 20. That's 10 plus 11 plus 12, etc. The best way to think about this is to first imagine that you added up all the numbers from 1 to 20. So that would be the sum from r equals 1 to 20 of r. But then you got rid of all the ones you don't want. So that is, we got rid of the numbers from 1 to 9. Right, so it's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 20, minus 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 9. That will leave you with 10 plus 11 plus 12 and so on. And now we just apply our rule to both of these. So that's half times 20 plus 1 minus this one, which is half times 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1, not 9 plus 10. So what do we get? We get our answer from before, which is 210, minus 10 times 9 over 2, which is 45. And our answer here is 165. Now, it's good to know that you can check these on the calculator. On the FXCG Casio graphical calculator, that involves going to Math, scrolling along and getting this summation sign. Now, you're going to have to use X rather than R here. But for example, this one here, we just put an X here because that's the nth term. We say X is going to start at 10 and it's going to go up to 20. And see, you can just check answers there. And if we wanted to check the one from 1 to 20, well, we just change our lower limit down to 1 and we get our 210. Okay, let's have a look at some fiddlier ones. So it's not always going to be simply R here. Sometimes it's going to be some linear expression. So obviously this is still just an arithmetic series, but we're going to approach this in a slightly more sophisticated way because it's a way that allows us to handle other cases later on. Generally, the best technique to use here is to split these up. Here's what I mean. You can split this up into the sum from r equals 1 to 8 of 3r minus the sum from r equals 1 to 8 of 1. You can even split further and pull that 3 out, giving you 3 times the sum from r equals 1 to 8. I seem to have written infinity here. 8 of r minus the sum from r equals 1 to 8 of 1. And now you can just apply the rule here. So the rule here is very straightforward. It's just 3 times, and then you're subbing 8 into this formula. So half times 8 times 9. Now this one here, now this isn't a rule I bothered proving, but it's kind of obvious that the sum from r equals 1 to n of 1, that's just 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, etc. n times. That's just n. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 8 times is 8. And now we can just evaluate this. So we've got 8 times 9 is 72, half of that 36, 3 times that is 108. So it's 108 minus 8, which is 100. This one here we'll do in just the same way. We'll split it up and then we'll consider these limits, these starting points and finishing points. So this is going to be the sum from r equals 5 to 14 of, well, it's 2 times the sum of the r's, and then it's plus the sum of 3 from r equals 5 to 14. Now we do our splitting. So that's 2 times, and we'll say that's the sum from r equals 1 to 14 of r's, minus the ones we don't want, which is the sum from 1 to 4, plus, and look, this one, you could do that, but it's probably easiest to just say, look, how many terms have you got from 5 to 14? Careful, it's not 9, it's 10, because it's including the 5 and the 14. So it's 10 of these times 3 is 30. So we've got a plus 30 there. So now we can work out what's going on inside the brackets down here. The sum from r equals 1 to 14 is, we just sub into our formula, half of 14 times 15, and then minus the ones we don't want, half of 4 times 5, plus 30. Evaluate these in the bracket. So we've got half of 14 is 7, times 15 is 105, minus the ones we don't want, which is 10, plus 30. Evaluate all of that. We've got 95 here, times 2 is 190, plus 30 is 220. And again, we can check all of these very easily on the calculator. So this first one here was the sum of, well, it was 3x. We just do an x's, remember, 3x minus 1 from r equals 1 up to 8. And let's check we get 100. Yes, we do. And this one down here, the sum from r equals 1, let's just change the limits first, from r equals 5 to 14. And then the formula here was 2r, or 2x, plus 3. And we've got 220. Good, that's what we got as well. So that's our strategy. Now, of course, it does feel a little bit over the top if you know about arithmetic series, because this arithmetic series here is quite easy. You start at 5, so that's 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 3 is 13. So it goes 13 plus, and you just keep going along the sequence, and what you'll get is 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus. So we could have just evaluated this using the first term's 13, the difference is 2, and n is 10 because there are 10 numbers between 5 and 14. So yes, what I did here is overkill, but it's just setting the scene for what we're going to be doing later on when you can't use these arithmetic series methods. Okay, the target value is not always going to be n. It could be something like 2 times capital N plus 1. So in that case, we just use our same formula. The sum from 1 to 2n plus 1 is half of that thing, which is 2n plus 1, multiplied by that thing plus 1, which is 2n plus 2. And so the answer here, if we just move that half into this bracket, is 2n plus 1 multiplied by n plus 1. So let's apply that over here. So show that the sum from 1 up to 2n plus 1 of this term is this. So we'll split this up first. So this is the sum from r equals 1 to 2n plus 1 of 4 minus 5 lots of the sum from r equals 1 to 2n plus 1 of r. So what are we saying here? Well, we're adding up 4 2n plus 1 times. So that's just 4 lots of 2n plus 1. Now we're subtracting 5 lots of, well, we just need to apply our rule here. So it's 5 lots of half of that thing, 2n plus 1, multiplied by that thing plus 1, 2n plus 2. And now we just need to simplify this. Well, notice that we can pull out a factor of 2n plus 1. That's in both terms, 2n plus 1. So what's left? I'll open some big brackets here. It's 4, and it's minus, what have we got? Well, half of this is that's just n plus 1. So it's 5 lots of n plus 1. Let's simplify what's going on in those brackets. It's 2n plus 1, and we've got 4 minus 5n minus 5. So we're nearly there now, because what we have is minus 5n minus 1. We can pull out a negative, giving us 2n plus 1, 5n plus 1, right? Because we had minus 5n minus 1. The negative of that is 5n plus 1. So we are done. We've shown that result. Okay, hence evaluate this. So what's the connection between this and this? Well, the connection is that 25 is equal to 2n plus 1 when n is 12, because 2 times 12 plus 1 is 25. So all we need to do is sub our 12 into this number here. So it's minus 2 times 12 plus 1 is 25, and 5 times 12 is 60, plus 1 is 61. So this one I will do on the calculator. Minus 25 times 61 is minus 1,525. And that I'll definitely just check that as well by saying math, scroll along, sum. So it's the sum of, let's just check we got it, 4 minus 5x from x equals 1 up to 25. And let's just check that. Good, we got that one right. Okay, this one now. So find the value of this. So what's the connection between this and what we had before? Well, 15 is equal to 2n plus 1 when n is 7. And we'll just notice that what we have here is the precise negative of what we had before. So all I need to do is use this formula that we proved earlier, multiply it by -1, so let's get rid of the negative on the outside, and sub in n equals 7. So what we have is 2 times 7 plus 1 is 15, and 5 times 7 is 35, plus 1 is 36. So that's 540, and let's check that on the calculator. So here we've got the sum of 5x minus 4 from x equals 1 up to 15, and we're hoping this is 540, and it is. So that's sums of natural numbers and an introduction to how we use sigma notation. In the next video, we're going to be looking at sums of squares and cubes, which is obviously slightly harder, and developing this sigma notation further. So I'll see you there.